All sorts of burritos did you have today?
Dose.
Just two? That's willpower right there.
Yeah, man.
Both beef and bean, or did you do the chimney or
beef and bean?
Yeah,
it's the best by far. So
I'm fixing to tell you all something that you're not gonna like. I have never had an all-set burrito.
What?
Oh my
God,
you
have.
dude!
You just don't
Come on, bro.
It. Yeah, you loser.
Never once have I had an all-set burrito.
What y'all should do is y'all should each have a couple all-set burritos and play each other in pickleball.
Which end do you want to film first?
Yeah, really.
Gosh.
and on the side of the court is just a core of toilet paper has 4 squares left on it.
Welcome to the Gen X Journey podcast. Dive into all things important to Gen Xers, from advice on aging parents, expert interviews, product reviews, and heartfelt conversations. So put down the joystick, grab your Walkman, dust off your old yearbooks, and welcome to the Gen X Journey.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gen X Journey podcast. This is Steve, and I'm back with my good friends Noel and Keith. How's it going, guys?
Hello, hello.
Hello.
You know what? I'm totally rad.
Uh-oh. Jump right into the material, aren't we?
I did.
Nice. Jump right in.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, silky segue.
Thank you.
From Keith Abbott on what tonight's topic is going to be about. And it is generational slang.
And ironically, that wasn't one of them on this list.
Crazy.
That's
crazy.
wild. It wasn't?
That should be like standard.
Totally.
Totally. Something
totally tubular. But
that's not on the list.
Yeah, that's not on the list either. Probably only like 3 people ever said that.
It's gnarly. Yeah. That is on the list.
Oh, that is on the list.
Yeah. Anyway, so we have a list of the great slang from Generation X, and then we also have a list of slang that Generation Y and Z are known for.
The mediocre slang
that we're going to totally just annihilate their stupid slang.
That's right.
After we talk about the greatness of our slang. So
yeah.
So this list is from a website called Pangea, like the
Pangea. Wasn't that like continents. The one-time continent thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Pangea.global.com, blah, blah, blah.
I love how they're listed as the translation experts and they're translating slang. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Nice.
Kind of fun.
It's like the Urban Dictionary.
It is. Of
which
slang.
You should never visit.
No.
It's not with your family around.
Yeah. Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah. Jeez. My goodness.
So I'm going to suggest that we each start with a word or slang on this list that you were known for using during your growing up stages.
Okay.
And then we'll eventually sort of work through the rest of the list.
Okay. That sounds good. So I'll go first if y'all want.
Go for it.
Probably of the ones that on this list, I probably said that rocks a lot. So rock is generally meaning to be excellent. It's recorded in the 1980s, but it says it has a long history and is connected back to rock and roll music. The name for this incredibly influential genre alludes to the rocking back and forth involved in dancing to music. So it is generally regarded as a compliment if someone tells you that you rock. I still to this day say something rocks. So yeah, I would say that of all the things on this list, that's probably the one that I've used to this day the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
So this list rocks.
Good one.
At least the Gen X list rocks.
No, what do you have?
Well, I'm not gonna have to scroll down too far from the rock to go with dude.
Yep.
I use dude a lot too.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I use dude a lot. Like I'm talking to my son. I'm like, "What's up, dude?
Yeah,
how's it going, dude? Partner." Like all kinds of variations of that, but that's one that and their definition says dude initially spread as slang for a man in the U.S. in the 1900s. But in the late 1980s, the word started to be used to address like, "Hey, dude," and as an exclamation, dude, that's amazing. With its adoption into Gen Z culture, it has become gender neutral. So you can call a woman a dude if you so desire, and I don't. So,
Right. But I think that I use it probably more as an exclamation, like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
that is so
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never
All
we
right.
never type the word dude in text though, do we? I mean, it's usually
No.
Very rarely. It's usually
usually
just an
like
exclamation
keywords,
coming out of
awesome.
your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, awesome. Of course, now I'm probably going to say it tonight
Right.
in text.
I think we all should see
Time to
if anybody pays
recirculate it.
attention on the group. That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Steve, what you got?
So I'm gonna bring this word back to current slang because
Do it.
it's too good to not be used anymore. It's the word psych.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I always use it like if I was messing with somebody, I'd make something up and say, no, psych.
like,
Just try to let them know I was trying to pull one over on them and be cool afterwards. It worked every
Yeah.
time.
absolutely.
But their definition was to psych someone out, meant to mess with them or their head. Its first documented usage originated from a 1975 Dictionary of American Slang and was described as to unnerve someone or cause someone to lose composure, will, skill, or etc. So,
I mean,
Great
most of the
word.
time it was like somebody pulling a fast one on you and going, psych, like trying to make you
Psych.
believe something and it really didn't, right? That's kind
Yeah,
of
and
what
you're
it
like, oh, you psyched me.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Did you know the sun is really blue? Look, a psych.
Psych.
Yeah.
Dude.
Dude.
it's snowing outside. Psych.
Psych.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe our words weren't that great.
Yeah.
on further review.
Yeah, this was fun while it lasted. We're going to conclude. No. So,
Keith, why don't you pick out another word from
yeah,
this list?
I think another word that I still kind of use off and on is going postal. Like with somebody's,
Yeah.
I think they're going to go postal. And that basically it's a colorful way of expressing anger. Comes from the incidents in the 80s and 90s where American postal workers ran amok and brought out loaded guns and randomly shot fellow employees. Wow, I remember that. So since that day, whenever somebody's about to get mad about something, you can preemptively brace yourself with them about going postal. And so,
Yeah.
I think I still use this, and I'm curious if our younger generation even understands that. Should we call it going textal? That not to be confused with tickle.
Tickle.
It's hard to say text tickle.
Yeah.
Be careful, it's going to say it wrong.
Yeah. I'm not going to try.
Yeah.
No, I'm going
No.
Edit Noel, I'm
can't
going to
handle
beat
that
his out. It's probably going to be like snaptle because they're all Snapchatting now. Text
Yeah,
isn't even a
right.
thing anymore.
Yeah.
So going postal is probably the other one I still use here and there.
Yep.
Noel?
Bogus.
Oh.
I use that word every once in a while, even at work. Like I'm like, dude, that's bogus. Why are we doing like just to generally complain about stuff? I'm like, this thing is bogus. I use that from time to time. Bogus is a word to describe something imaginary or false. Its origin stem from the early 19th century, from the machine used to make counterfeit coins called a bogus. Eventually, it became used instead of funny money and was subsequently surpassed by the word phony, which is like
Wow.
Bogus's uglier grown-up brother, phony.
I just got it from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yeah.
That's a way deep dive. That was a lot of this is like I feel like I'm Bill and Tedding half of this. What this is saying,
Yeah.
So
100%.
which one do you got, Steve?
All right, Steve.
So
I was going to say
chill pill was in my.
I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew you were going to say chill pill.
It was in my vocabulary from time to time. Every now and then I'll still use it, especially if it's around another Gen Xer.
Oh yeah.
But
Dude, chill pill.
So this rhyming slang phrase plays on the idea of medicines relaxing someone, which was used as early as the 1980s. You can use this to tell someone they're overreacting or too stressed, and to chill out, which is an older expression. So
chill out.
Pretty cool.
Bro,
Keith, you got another one you like?
So this isn't one that I really used a lot, but I like the fact of how it's evolved, and I've actually heard it in a couple of YouTube and TikTok videos to this day, and that's headbanger. So, I mean, we think of headbanger like the headbanger's ball, right? This is associated with like heavy metal, punk rock, grunge music. You know, usually if it was somebody that was like really into it, you'd call them a headbanger, right? But it also would be like, this is really headbanging music. That was the thing. And it's actually, and this, it even talks about it here. Before I read it, I was thinking of this, but like, there's a YouTube video out there. It's about English kids trying like Bucky's food or Taco Bell for the first time. Have you all seen these? They're great if you haven't.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
These little high school students, right? And they say like if something's good, they say chicken. Yeah, they'll eat it and they'll say this is a banger. You know, so they still use it. They've kind of evolved it to banger if something is cool or something is really good, meaning a song or something good. So I like the fact that it's evolved through generations, but it kind of started with us terming things as headbangers. So interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't use that a lot, but I thought that was a cool evolution.
I saw that on X. I think English. They were eating like fried chicken and mashed potatoes and stuff. Yes. Like, at first, they were like, "What is this?" And they're like, "It's fried chicken and some sort of potato of some sort."
Yeah.
And they started eating. The guy took a bite. And he's like, "Oh, this is banging! Try that."
So funny to see their faces. We watched the one with the Taco Bell and they had the cinnamon twist, you know, and it was so funny because like it was hilarious because like they were about to start another food and you see one of the kids, they like stole it and they had it next to him under the table and you'd see him pulling it out and eating it before and it was so funny. Those are great. If anybody hadn't seen those are some funny stuff.
I shared a video, Keith, that your week's been crazy. I'm not sure if you saw it, but Noel did, but it was from YouTube. I'm sorry, from Twitter or X. And the guy posted, check out these bangers that were played by the Weather Channel during the local 8 on the 8.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
It was like all the old Kenny G inspired tunes and everything. So they refer to as bangers.
Steve, I'll publicly take the admonishment. Steve did make a joke that flew right over my head.
I didn't even see it until you said it again this night. And I apologize because I should have responded because that was pretty genius, man.
Yeah, it was funny. I thought it was legit. Like I thought he went to like Chat GPT and did some research and he was dropping some facts on us. I was like, nice. Okay, I learned something today.
Yeah. We never knew what Kenny G's last name was.
Yeah, Kenneth Gustafson.
Yeah.
Gustafson.
Everybody called him Ken. They changed his name to Kenny G.
Now I'm going to ask the research department what his last name really is. So I'll let y'all know.
See, I think Gustafson. That's gonna be even funnier.
I don't see a Gustafson being in the saxophone department. That seems like a tuba or a euphonium or something, you know?
Yeah, okay, they just handed this to me. His full name is Kenneth Bruce Gorelick, Gorelick.
I would never guess that.
Gustafson's actually better.
I like Gustafson. It has a better ring to it.
It does.
I'm glad you renamed him, Steve.
Yeah, thanks.
I think we should officially rename Kenny G. Kenneth Gustafson.
That'd be a total diss. Speaking of.
Totally dissed.
No, you're up.
Oh, I was gonna say crib. I like crib. I've used it. I don't use it a lot, but hey, let's go back to my crib. Hang at your crib.
Yeah. I feel like that's I mean, even to this day, don't they like have like the MTV cribs? Or is that still where like they show like the superstars mansions and all this kind of stuff. So I guess it's still one that's lasted a while.
Yeah, it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
It is a colorful word that describes your home or where you generally spend most of your time. It comes from the word cot or crib for a baby, and that is where they spend most of their time and have the best sleep. Hopefully you sleep as soundly as a baby in your crib.
Nice.
So,
nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Love it. Cool.
All right, Steve.
Yeah, so one I'll highlight. I don't recall any of us ever using this word, but it's the word dip. DIP and not like chips and dip. But so they refer to as, they basically describe the word as you can't be seen when you come to a slight dip in the road, and when you leave someplace, you can't be seen at that point. You can bounce, dip, or leave when you're ready to go. This word is very versatile. However, it has not been replaced thanks to the Gen X crowd, or has now been replaced thanks to Gen X crowd with "I'm going to ghost" or "Let's ghost." So
I personally approve of Gen Z's change. because
Yeah.
I think ghosting things is much. I think I probably use let's instead of dip, I probably used bounce. Let's bounce, to
Yeah,
get
let's
out of
bounce.
place.
Yeah.
Yep.
But ghost, I approve of the ghost. I think that's ghosting someone or let's ghost and get out of here. I think it's very much more. It makes more sense,
Yeah.
like in my head.
Yeesh.
So
Yeah, for sure.
Mine too.
Yeah, as we look at other words on the Gen X list, do you ever use the word gnarly? Did we talk about this one already?
Not very much.
often. I mean,
Yeah.
I know it. It's
Yeah.
but it's not one that I used a whole lot. But kind of a surfer dude thing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I would never thought as the word yuppie as Gen X slang.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like an 80s thing to me.
And here, okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, this is the first time reading this that I have understand where the word comes from, being a young urban professional. I never put that together as what YUP stood for, yuppie.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So I was today
Yeah.
years old when I learned that for the first time.
You
So
can go to
that's my
bed knowing that you learned at least one thing today.
I did. I learned one thing today, and that's where yuppie comes from. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we
How
go.
about that?
Very nice. Do you ever use the word fat? PHAT?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, Steve?
No.
No. Not ever. I think we're too something. I don't
Fail.
not cool.
Yeah. So fat PHAT is commonly, I'll question the word use of commonly, but commonly used to describe something excellent or sexy.
Okay.
Huh. Okay.
Pretty hot and thick is where it came from. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I heard it in, what was it? Chris Tucker said in a movie, it was like pretty hot and tempting. Your wife is fat. Pretty hot and tempting.
Okay. Like see, I didn't understand that either. It's interesting. I'm learning so many things today. Very cool. Huh.
So then, guys, we got the whole Gen Y list. Y'all want to make fun of any words?
So, I mean, looking through this, obviously woke has transcended time, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the Gen Y millennial words. I mean, a lot of these make sense. Adulting. I don't want to be. I'm too tired to adult today. I think I use that. I use some of these more than I use the Gen X ones, honestly. What ones that stand out to y'all on this one?
Well, I mean, you hear the word canceled a lot, and I think it's probably transferred meaning or intentions a little bit over the years. But I never heard of thirst trap. Have y'all?
I've never heard that until I read it.
Thirst or being thirsty is a way to describe lusting after someone. Okay.
Never.
Usually desperately. The slang birth at another phrase, thirst trap, used to describe photos people post with the obvious or a subtle intention of getting others to lust after them and post comments about that boost their ego.
Gotcha.
Guess that's what Instagram is.
I was going to say that's now all of Instagram, right? So what do these stick out to you, Noel?
I've heard this one. I've never liked it. Bae.
Yeah.
When you're talking about your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, it's so stupid.
Like just add the other B.
Dumb. Just say babe. Yeah. So use the other B. Just stop making up words that don't exist.
Yeah.
And the last one in the list, shipping. Have you ever heard of this? The word is commonly used to discuss or hope for a romantic relationship between fictional characters, fan fiction, or celebrities, whether or not there is any romance between them. Shipping.
Interesting.
That's dumb.
That is dumb.
Just say you got a crush. I think that's what we say.
So is this what this is saying? Is this talking about you're watching a show and you're wanting the two couples in the show to have a relationship, or you're lusting after them? I can't decide what this is meaning.
Yeah,
I think it's the first thing you said.
Between fictional characters, right? Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
Like I'm shipping for Luke and Laura in General Hospital.
Yeah.
Like let's take that back.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
I'll tell you another one that I think is great. It's funny is Swole. Let's go get Swole.
Yeah.
I love Swole. I think that's funny.
That is a good one.
I'm swole, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
So
I do like the word humble brag.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
And I'll admit I'll use that from time to time. So I'll give Gen Y a little credit for that word.
Yeah. Now,
adulting is another one I've used every once in a while.
I can see a lot. I can see myself using a lot of Gen Y words. I really can. Now, Gen Z, Have you started looking at this?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
God.
before you give the words, my first thought is a lot of acronyms, a lot of abbreviated words. So clearly, like they're a generation that's texted all their lives.
Text. Yeah,
Yes.
that's very true.
Yes. Yeah.
That's dumb.
Half of this I've never heard of.
Yeah. So the first one, chuggy,
Yeah.
it means something uncool and outdated. For example, all the slang above would seem chuggy to a Gen Z individual. Never heard of that.
Dumb.
You ever heard of
Nope.
that? Chuggy.
Nope.
Now I've heard of FOMO.
Oh, I've heard of FOMO a lot.
Yeah.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son
Big
introduced
man.
me to that one, and it makes total sense. It really does.
Bougie, I use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but do you attribute that to Gen Z or do you attribute that to Applebee's?
Right.
I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
Applebee's, I don't know, man. I don't think I've ever. What? I'm trying to think in my head, like where Applebee's. How did you get? How did you connect that to Applebee's?
there's that song, "You're bougie like Applebee's on a date night," and you know what I'm talking about?
No.
I don't have to play the song for you.
You don't know either, Keith?
I don't know either. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
No.
I was like,
So I've heard
I appreciate the
bougie a lot.
courtesy laugh on that.
Yeah,
Well-
I've heard the word bougie, but it's really more for like I would say probably 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds. I've heard it from. I'm sure the
Yeah.
teenagers do it, but and of course I don't just hang out with teenagers. Maybe that's why I've heard it from the older people. But you
yeah.
know, but that's not one that it's I don't know. It's interesting. What this cap no cap? So cap means a lie and is often used by people to call others out for being dishonest. On the other hand, no cap means the truth. I didn't know that. Have you heard that one, Noel?
Yeah, I have.
Interesting.
I've heard that. Lynn and I love to mess with our kids and start talking like them, and it drives them nuts because we do it so wrong, and but it's so funny.
It's the best way to do it.
We're really enjoying ourselves, and they're not, so it's great.
That's funny. So others on this list, like fam, I'm sorry that I don't care what they say. Fam came from what was the what about Bob?
Oh yeah.
I do not attribute Gen Z to fam. Fam came from what about Bob? Okay, so it's the fam. So no, sorry Gen Z, you got this from Bill Murray. My bad. You're bad. Okay, so yeah. And then low key, high key. I hear my son saying low key all the time.
Oh yeah, totally.
Low key, you know.
Yeah.
So I do know those. So that's awesome. But any others on here that you guys know?
So I have to say that I totally got the words wrong on that song. So
oh man, well
it's fancy like Applebee's, not bougie like Applebee's. So
but now,
okay. See,
now we can't unhear it.
Actually, it is in the word.
Bougie
like Natty and the styrofoam. There you go.
Oh God.
Yes.
Nice. Well done, Steve.
Gen Z cred now.
Wow, man.
So the last word on this list is sus. And it's like, which is, I throw that out to my kids and their friends all the time. I'm like, Dad, that's just sus. And same thing, Noel. Like instead of texting, I'll just throw that out there, and they just look at me and shake their head like, don't.
Oh yeah, totally.
Don't. I love it. I love it so much. I love doing it.
Yeah, we are so cool.
Yeah, we are.
So, I just thought of another Gen X slang, and this was part of the old testosterone days, but it was off the chain.
Off the chain.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, what about like gag me with a spoon, right?
Yeah. That's 80s though.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Is that really Gen X or is that just
still
80s?
Gen X. Yeah, that's still Gen X.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. That is us.
So I just get a text message from my wife in the other room, and it says, and I quote, "You are in caps not allowed to use sus."
Busted. That's funny.
Oh man, it's so great. It's kind of a sus thing to say, honey.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Psych.
Psych. It's funny.
Anyway, so going through these three lists, I'd have to say that our slang was probably the most creative of the three.
I agree.
I think maybe our slang has transcended time more than the other three.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, may not be fair to say that, but
I think so. At
yeah, I
least our
think
time.
further proves that we are still the coolest generation that's ever existed.
There's no question.
Yeah.
There's no doubting that.
Yeah.
We're fixing to have a serious discussion, though. It's something that I was telling Noel and Steve about earlier. Like, and we're going to have a podcast coming up about this. But why is it that when people are doing polls and all of these kind of things, they bring up boomers, they bring up Gen Y and Gen Z and millennials, but there's never anything where they poll Gen Xers? It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I was even at a meeting this week, and there was some financial stats that came up, and they were talking about the people from 55 to 75, and then they skipped completely from 35 to 55, and they went from 20 or 30 to 35, 20 to or 25 to 30, and or 25 to 29, and then 18 to 24. And I'm like, what? You missed like an entire generation. What is going on? And I mean,
Why is
I'm
that?
really, I don't know, but I see it all over the place where it completely skips our generation on every poll. It's like boomers are important, millennials are important, and Gen Y or Gen Z. It's weird.
Do you think the theory behind it is that they don't see our generation as the biggest grab for their marketing dollars?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
I would
we're
love
a pretty
I
powerful
dig deep into this.
generation.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, we're going to be carrying the load, at this age. So it really surprises me, and I actually brought it up in that like one of the meetings I was at. I was like, "You're completely missing all of Gen X. Why?" And they're like, "I don't know. We'll have to look into the typical answer." But it's like, like how do you miss? Like, how do you miss the people who are really the caretakers of their parents and the caretakers of their kids? That's where we're at right now. How do you miss that influence? I don't get it. So we're going to go into this. I'm going to do some research, and we're going to have this discussion on another episode, because it really miffed me that this has happened so many times. Is miff a Gen X word? Is that a word?
It is now.
Yeah,
you just made it one.
We're claiming it.
I love it. I'm calling it today.
PO'd. I think that's a Gen X
That's
thing.
one. That was for sure a Gen X.
Yeah,
definitely.
So, anyway,
Yeah.
PO'd. They're just dissing us. Where was diss? Was diss a Gen X? Diss.
Yeah,
that was us. Yep.
They totally dissed us.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Cool.
Catch the hands.
That's fat.
Yeah. Talk to the hand because the head ear don't understand. Remember what?
That's so sus.
Yes, that was. I'm not going to say it because she's listening, but you're right. That was
why
good.
You should say it.
Good list, fellas. I liked it. So enjoyed it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So stay tuned. We've got a lot more Gen X material coming. I talked about the previews of other things that we're having. We're going to have some really special deep dives coming up on some really special artists and directors and movies and other television shows through Gen X. So stay tuned for what's to come. And we look forward to talking to everybody, and have a wonderful rest of your week.
Take care, everybody.
See you, everybody.
The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the Gen X Journey podcast belong solely to the hosts and guests and do not necessarily represent the views or opinions of any entity they are associated with. The information provided is for entertainment and informational purposes only, and should not be considered professional advice. Listeners are encouraged to seek the advice of qualified professionals for any specific issues they may face. The creators and contributors of this podcast make no representations as to the accuracy, completeness, or validity of any information, and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its use.